All right, YouTube. Wow and wow. Welcome to our Friday night, and we want to talk about. We want to talk about our boot camp that we've got going on here. As you're coming in, let us know who you are, where you're coming from, so we can have that. Uh, Let us know how our reach is doing, and if you can hear us well, that'd be helpful. Let us know if you can hear us. Let me see if the chat is working. Live chat. Not seeing anybody in the chat yet. We want to discuss with you guys about our prophetic boot camp we've been undergoing for the past 3 weeks. Okay, and there has been a lot of momentum, picked up a lot of traction, and I've been enjoying it. I've actually got my accomplices here. If you all want to introduce yourselves, go right ahead. Okay. Anybody?
Hi.
Okay.
I'm one of the oracles in the prophetic boot camp.
Can you guys hear her? Y'all let me know if we need to uh, adjust anything. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear. Testing, testing, testing.
Can you all hear me?
Okay, Roderick says he can. All right. And Pearl says that she can. Okay. Go ahead, dear.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been it's been our third week into the boot camp, and I've also been a part of Cosmic's apprenticeship as well. And I'm a Reiki master and artist, amongst a few other things.
And a very good artist, I might add. Very good artist. Are there other guests you want to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of. But yeah, hello everyone. I'm one of the other oracles of the boot camp. This will be my third week in the camp. I also part of Cosmic's apprenticeship, and I'm an up and coming psalmist.
All right, you want to give us some definition as to what that means for those who might not be familiar with what a psalmist is?
Well, A psalmist is basically, well, my definition, it's a prophetic singer, songwriter. Just to simplify it.
And so, what would you say? And by all means, those of you who are in the chat, definitely introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're calling from, listening in from, rather. I saw that Pearl was in the chat. I saw Queenie in the chat. I saw Roger in the chat. Anybody else in there? Let me know. Give me some feedback here. If you want to share this out, you certainly can. If you have any questions about our prophetic boot camp, our oracle program, prophets, prophecy, prophesying, etc., definitely drop them down in the chat, and we'll shoot them on over here. I think that's Sanaya. Good to see you from Maryland. So let me ask you. You mentioned about the psalmist. You said a psalmist, in your opinion, is a prophetic singer, and what would you then say is the difference between just any other singer and songwriter versus a prophetic singer and or songwriter?
Most singers and songwriters, the songs that they perform is premeditated. I'll put it that way. A psalmist, their songs are more focused on worship, and they're spontaneous. So they're guided by the Holy Spirit.
So, can I be a spontaneous singer and or songwriter and not be a psalmist? Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I'm thinking on it. Can you go deeper into that?
I was asking you the same thing. You said that a psalmist is a spontaneous singer and a songwriter. Is that accurate?
I said a psalmist was a spontaneous singer.
Okay.
But you were talking about the differences between the psalmist and other singers and songwriters.
So can I be a spontaneous singer and not be a psalmist? Or I should ask, is every spontaneous singer a psalmist? In your estimation?
I would say so.
Okay. So for those who are absolutely new to this, they've never heard of this boot camp, what is the prophetic boot camp?
It's a series of classes that are geared, like, every week you learn at least 10 different exercises, 10 different ways to prophesy, and they serve as ways to activate you and to get you to begin flowing. And also, while receiving instruction on what prophetic ministry is about, what the gifts of the Spirit are, biblical using biblical sources to reinforce the teachings as well, and different techniques to kind of get through any problems that you may have, that you might run into, and how to navigate them, and how to identify what is actually happening. When it seems like an issue, it might be something else that just needs to be reframed or worked on in a different way.
And so, how has this helped or benefited you?
It's helped me immensely. One major way, or at least one of the first ones, was dealing with a lot of self-doubt. Since a lot of the prophecy relies on you being able to kind of prophesy by faith, and not allowing your human mind to intervene with that and tell you, like, no, you're going to sound stupid, stuff like that. So in that way, that was one of the first major things. And another major way, I believe, is just there's just so much that one may not realize that they don't know. Like I mentioned, the different techniques that we're taught to circumvent or work through anything that we don't like. When you start to hit a wall and you don't understand how, without the context of the boot camp, it may take you either longer or you never really figure it out. And that becomes a very limiting part of your prophetic growth.
Wow. What about you? What would you say how's this benefited you?
I say that it helped me to grow closer in my relationship with God. It gave me different modes in which I can hear Him, especially during personal devotions. I would use what has been taught to just help me get a better understanding, to either hear what He's saying or if I'm seeking an answer. But I'd say that it helped me in my personal devotion. It helped to grow my personal devotion.
If you guys have any questions there in the chat concerning the boot camp or the oracles, etc., do let us know. I'm just gonna sit here and work some questions through them. So let me ask this question. If I have a spiritual reader that I go to regularly, or if I myself am a reader, do I still need prophetic ministry?
Yes, because they're two different things. They seem similar, and they can be similar in that way that you are getting information that you on a mundane level wouldn't have otherwise gotten. But prophetic ministry and getting a spiritual reading are just two different things. For one, prophecy is essentially you're getting your information, the words that you're speaking aren't necessarily your words, they're the words of God. Whereas with spiritual reading, you may be getting your information from, your spiritual court, or it's, from the person's soul. That information isn't coming from God into your mouth and out. So one being a spiritual reader doesn't necessarily mean that it is one and the same.
So, would you say that one can be psychic and not prophetic?
I think that's definitely totally possible, yeah. And one can be vice versa. One can necessarily never have honed any psychic abilities while being highly prophetic.
Interesting. And so, what is prophecy?
It's the opinion of God. It's the word of God. And there are different gifts that can be bestowed to you by God, in which they come through, in which, like, say, through images, through hearing His voice. But yeah, it's the source of which where it's coming from is straight from God.
I see Mojo Queen in the chat. I see Sonyaya in the chat. I see Queenie in the chat. I see Pearl in the chat. Roderick is in there. Good to see all of you. I think we might have come on. It's been a while, so I think it's been like a month since I've been on YouTube. So I'm not surprised that the stream is pretty low tonight. Wow. Anything kind of miscellaneous you'd like to share or discuss about the boot camp?
How do you mean? Like, I need a little more specific.
Well, I wasn't being specific at all. I was just saying, was there any further comments that you wanted to make about the boot camp? Any opinions you guys may have that you haven't already said, or anything you'd like to tell the audience about the boot camp that you haven't already?
I would say that it's a very incredible experience. I was talking about this last night, that it almost feels like nothing has changed and everything has changed because of it. It's just an experience that you're not really going to just get from any old where, and it's I would say, a very unique experience, and one that I'm extremely grateful to be a part of.
And you, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience about the boot camp? Maybe that you might have left out or haven't said it already? Or you kind of said your piece?
Nothing comes to mind. But I'd say that it has been to the subject. And I am just very, very grateful as well.
I'd actually like to add one other thing
Yes,
that
absolutely.
just popped into my head. Just even as a parent, I've noticed since the boot camp that I'm getting a lot more like different strategies on how to work with my children when they're having difficulties. So even outside of just necessarily trying to prophesy, but even just going about daily life, there's this constant sort of conversation that you can be having with God, and it permeates your life, and it's not just relegated to a 2-hour portion of your day.
So, would you say that this has really evolved evolving you rather into a more prophetic lifestyle, all around?
Yes, definitely, most definitely.
Wow and wow. Wow and wow. So you have found very mundane uses and applications for the trainings that you've been receiving.
Yes. It's just even like, with one of my kids, they have a lot of difficulties with the school and schooling at this time, and it's just really, really stressful. And just even taking a moment for myself to just kind of center myself and really hear what God is saying. And, I receive a word, and I can then take that strategy that He's giving me to help my child and to help them to relieve stress, to just to get through the obstacles. And I've just found that not only is it just always the right advice, but without that could have been an hour-long like issue where I'm trying every different strategy to work out on my own. And since this training, it's not just on my own anymore.
Wow. And so you guys have been in this 3 weeks, and so what would you say about your growth from week 1 to now?
It's been quite a bit, just even from the first week. I know we were all talking about just not even realizing like how quickly we'd be able to kind of jump in, and even now it's still kind of hard to fathom that we have so many more weeks to go, and that we'll be progressing like that much more, just because it already feels like quite a bit has already happened.
Wow. So this is awesome. This is really, really incredible. For those who are listening, what can they expect from you all, or expect in the upcoming weeks?
I'd probably say just even more, just even looking at from week 1 to week 2 and stuff, just even deeper flows that we will be able to get into, and just receiving and having the word really develop and unfold on a deeper level. So I'd say that to expect just even perhaps just a more accurate or just a more varied way of being able to prophesy and share that with people.
So I'm going to say to YouTube that we had some challenges this week, and in an effort to rectify some of that, we're actually going to come back on this same platform next Friday. I'm actually going to schedule it and everything, so you guys should be getting the notifications and set your calendars around Friday at about 8 o'clock Carolina time. And we're going to be coming in ministering to you prophetically. We're going to be prophesying for about an hour or so next Friday. So set your calendars. As I said before, tell Lottie, tell Dottie, tell everybody that we're going to be on next Friday. And I'll be coming on more, probably maybe once or twice next week to remind everybody. And if you are watching the replay of this and you have a question about the prophetic ministry, about prophecy, prophets, oracles, about our prophetic boot camp, any of those kind of questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. And when we come back on next Friday, God willing, we'll have a chance to really address those questions. So definitely also mark your calendar so you won't ask a question and be without an answer. In the meantime, in between time, I hold all of you in the light of God that never fails. And remember, Hoodoo is how I pray. God bless you forever.